Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgiemon and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about My Dress Up Darling, chapter 86. So, what did I think about this week's chapter? I thought this chapter was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it quite a lot, and I'm excited to see where the story goes going forward because it seems like we're in the beginning of a new arc. So, now that the coffin party arc is over with, now we get to progress the story. Plus, we get to see, hopefully in the future, Marin's confession, and sooner than later, because it got set up in the last arc, and I'm sure it's gonna be, hopefully, fingers crossed, we're gonna have it paid off in this current arc that we're establishing. Now, before we get into this week's chapter, I just wanted to give you guys a friendly reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my Dress Up Darling anime and manga content going forward. It really helps me a lot, so I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. But with that being said, let's get into this week's chapter. Now, the chapter begins pretty much where we left off in the last chapter, which is the resolution of the coffin party. And we see pretty much that Marin is like, oh wow, Akira didn't hate me, this, oh great, like I got my first big fan like that. And you see Miyako and Suzuka, pretty much they're just like, hey, we're apologizing, and Marin's like, chillax, it's not a big deal, everything worked out, it was, it was great at the end, Akira and I are homies, it was just a misunderstanding, and I understand why you guys would do that. But Juju, she actually gets a little bit of a nice little scene where they're asking her like, hey, would you want to do this again? And then you just see Juju just straight up say, no, I would never ever do this again. And it's understandably so, because she hates all this horror stuff, she's not a big horror fan. So, you would see why she would feel that type of way. And I think it was a great moment for her, because then she explains to both Suzuka and Mayako, like, hey, because they ask her, like, why would you do this? Like, if you don't like horror, why'd you do this? It's like, well, my sister loves this. Just because my sister loves this doesn't mean I need to love it. However, I want to make sure that she enjoys this as much as she can. So, it was like a nice moment. And then they're both like, oh, big sister. And then Juju's just like, you guys are way older than me. Why are you calling me big sister? Like, what? And it was a nice comedic moment. And pretty much, yeah, that's a nice little, it solidifies Juju just like how much she cares for her little sister. I thought it was great for her. We got a couple of great moments with her in this arc, and I'm sure we're gonna get more of them going forward, because Juju is a very popular character when it comes to the supporting characters in this manga. So it was awesome just seeing that little moment. It was fun. And continuing on, we see that actually we get the introduction of what seems to be the new arc, because what happens is Suzuka asks Amane, like, hey, are you gonna go to that con, like the comic market or whatever? And they're like, what is that? Like, Gojo and them, and they're like, oh, you never heard of it? And they explain it's pretty much like, let's just say like a convention, like a cosplay convention, pretty much. In other words, it's a big one. And they're just explaining like, yeah, it's at the end of the year, it's gonna be soon, so are you guys gonna be there? And Gojo's just like, yeah, I'm down, that sounds like fun, why not? And pretty much you see Amane like this, Suzuka asks Amane like, hey, are you gonna be there? And he's like, yeah, I'll go, but I won't cosplay because it's way too cold, and skirts with the cold do not match. So Amane, smart man, he was not trying to freeze down there, so respect that. But pretty much what happens after that, you see that Marin, because what happens is the Suzuka and Mayako, they kind of like say like, we should do a maids, and we should just like all of us cosplay as maids and kind of just be cool about it. And Marin's like, do I think I know anybody that has a maid outfit? And then she thinks about this chick from a novel or a manga that she knows, and she just, it's like a light bulb. She's like, oh, I'm gonna cosplay as her. And Gojo's like, what is this? And then Marin explains like, oh, you don't understand, this girl is one of my big crushes. This girl is a queen, And Gojo's like, oh, it's one of your favorite characters, cool. And pretty much she explains that it's the same mangaka / author that made the the game that Gojo played, the horror game, whatever. And she just tells Gojo like, yeah, this is a character I'm down to cosplay. And the manga, it's funny, I actually, as a kid, is the reason, the character that I want to cosplay is actually the reason why I even want to grow my hair long to begin with, why I always had it long since. And that was crazy, because we also get to see a nice little moment with Marin as a little girl, so that, like, back when she was probably in 2nd grade or whatever. And I thought it was wholesome. It was just a wholesome little moment. You see little Marin, adorable, and she had the black hair before she went blonde. But following that, we see that, you know, Marin gives Gojo a little bit of insight about the manga, and they see that pretty much this manga, you know, it had like a weird cover because it wasn't like any pictures or anything in the cover, so it was just like the title of the book, and Gojo and Marin was just like, I was, you know, I didn't think about getting it, but then I was like, why not? Because I saw the girl, like, you know, I flipped the pages and I see this girl, she's so hot, and I have to get this book, even though it was like volume 13 and she had never read the other one. So it was, you know, typical Marin fashion. So she just went into the story and, you know, nose dived in. And what happens is that pretty much they start talking about like the success of this thing. And from what it sounds like, it's kind of like a, well, how can I describe it? It's kind of like a young adult kind of demographic. And like, it sounds like the plot is very convoluted, but it doesn't matter. Cool character designs, and that's what Marin's all about. So Marin's like, yeah, I want to cosplay her, and you see that Gojo's like, yeah, I'm down for that. That sounds cool. So then Gojo's like, wow, like this series is pretty popular if it sells really good according to you guys, and I guess it's a big brand or whatever. Is there an anime or a movie for this? And then, you know, I believe it was Mayako. She says like, no, actually the author, he said I'll never have my property as an anime or movie. He's very like touchy about his IP, so, you know, no, tough luck with that. And pretty much Gojo's like, okay, yeah, I'm down for you, Marin, to cosplay as, you know, with this character. That'd be cool, even though you're in a diet, but we can, you know, cover you up and make you look like, you know, the proportion being proportionally right, even though you're in a diet, and why not? But we see towards the end that pretty much Gojo's like, yeah, after I'll love to do props. I'll do the props for you guys in your cosplays, because after doing it with Akira, I had a lot of fun, and I think I want to improve upon my cosplay skills. So I'll make the props. And Marin is like, oh yeah, that sounds a great idea. Why not? And you see that towards the end, Gojo's like, yeah, I'm definitely doing this. Like, let's do this, Marin. And then Marin's like, okay, yeah, that sounds like a plan. And Gojo's like, okay, I gotta go now. And then Marin's like, whoa, where are you going? He's like, oh, don't worry, I got stuff to do. And Marin, you know, because we know she wants to confess to Gojo, she told herself after the coffin party, that's the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna confess to Gojo. And she goes, wait, Gojo, what, are you leaving already? Hold up, I gotta ask you something. And Gojo, just in his Giga Chat face, goes, we'll go to that convention, and I'll make you the outfit for her. You'll keep, like, pretty much like, you'll slay in that outfit. I'll make sure you slay on that outfit. And you see the final page, we see the outfit that Gojo's gonna make, and you actually see the character design of what Marin wants to cosplay. And, you know, it looks awesome. I love the design. It kind of gave me like Claymore vibes. If you guys ever read that series, it kind of gave me like Galatea when she's in her nun outfit kind of thing. And I love the design. The design was sick. Fukuda always kills it when it comes to the character designs. Now, as for the confession, I'm a little bummed because I don't think it's gonna happen, you know, in the next chapter or so. But hopefully, fingers crossed, it happens soon, because, you know, we're almost at the chapter 100. So I'm assuming that the confession is gonna happen before that. And this might be just strong speculation for my part, but I do believe it's gonna happen soon, where pretty much Marin confesses, and Gojo probably has to think about it, or either he has to think about it, or I think this is the perfect moment after this arc where he'll confess to Marin, and then they'll both have to think about it. And I think it's gonna line up to chapter 100. I think chapter 100 will be the big moment where they both finally become boyfriend and girlfriend. But that's, you know, wishful thinking. You never know with these things. But I mean, Marin did try to confess, but you see that there was a curveball, which is Gojo Giga Chat mode saying, I'll make you, you know, this outfit, and I'll make you slay in this outfit. Overall, I enjoyed this chapter, and I'm looking forward to see what this arc brings to the story going forward. But with that being said, what did you guys think about this week's chapter? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys love it? Did you guys thought it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.